Hello everyone, this is Shamsi, and today we're going to talk about some comments and extra tips that were left into the comments section of my last video, and also one tip that I simply plain forgot to put into that one. So, welcome to volume 3. I do also have a channel announcement, but I'll leave that to the end. Let's talk about tip number 1, which is linking. The way I used to remove links in this game is by highlighting the correct purple strand and checking for, discolor or the change in color of the industry units to see if I'm cutting the right link. But now, what I do after a supporter of mine, Astron, suggested this, is in build mode with the link tool out. So without the link tool, you don't see anything extra, but with the link tool, you get these options here. And you get a list of all the links going out of an item and all the lists coming into an item. And so, if you also rename your industry, which you can easily do by right-clicking Rename Industry, click anywhere in the box, hit Ctrl+A to select everything, and then type the new name. It doesn't take any time at all. If you also rename all of your smelters, refiners, and everything else, you get to see exactly which item you're cutting the link from if you want to replace or scale up or do whatever you want to do. The next tip is to do with wings. So spamming extra small wings seriously affects the performance of your game. If you've ever been flying on your ship with loads of small wings and you've noticed significant FPS drops and so on, it's because the game has to render and factor in the performance of each individual element on the ship. So on a ship like this, where you don't overly spam, these are small wings here, so I never spam extra small wings anymore. It's fine. It doesn't affect performance all that much. But say on a ship like this, my main hauler, if I was going with small or extra small wings, so I know for small wings, I would need over 250 of them. And when I used to fly this ship, my computer's performance nosedived. It had a very significant impact on computer performance. And when I replaced those with the large stabilizers and these medium wings here, they're still spammed, but not nearly as much. The performance increased significantly. Please do ignore the back of the ship. I am going to be rebuilding it next stream. So yeah, if you find yourself struggling for ship performance and you've spammed small and extra small wings, perhaps consider replacing that spam with some larger sized wings. The next tip, I've already mentioned this quite frequently, but I'll consolidate it here. Sagacious's build guide video on ships had a very interesting design in the way he would build ships, in that he would fill the ship with the amount of mass that you want for the ship to carry. So in the container, you would put hematite or whatever else you had that was heavy to give the ship its carry weight that you want it to perform at. And then when you enter build mode, you'll see here that my ship's performance is very, very high, significantly oversubscribed. But if I were to fill this with weight, it drastically affects the ship's performance. So now that the ship has the weight that I want for it to carry, 4.5 kilotons in its cargo hold, you'll see that I have insufficient max thrust. This will be fixed when I get rid of my engine obstructions. I want it to be around 1.3 Gs, but you get an accurate readout of what your elements are performing at. So I no longer think that my ship is significantly overpowered. I know it has exactly enough power to lift what I want it to lift and travel at the speeds I want it to travel at while doing so. The next tip is about these little shuttles here, pocket rockets that you can compactify into your inventory in Super Blueprint form. I mentioned these last time, but I didn't talk exactly about what the requirements are, but they need to be an extra small dynamic core. They can't have any containers. They can only have one fuel tank, and they can only have 3 atmospheric engines, and they have to weigh less than 20 tons to qualify for construct compactification. The next warning, more than a tip that I have, is about compactification. one of the commenters on my last video commented that if I were to go to a surrogate VR station and travel to somewhere as a robot, for instance, to visit a far-flung area on the surrogate network, if I have a compacted ship in my inventory, there's a chance that it'll convert from being a super blueprint back to a regular blueprint when I come back from my trip, and therefore you lose that ship that you'd compacted. So do be careful of that. I can confirm that it has happened to me once, and I know that others are testing it out, but as far as I'm aware, that there is a chance for that to happen. So there's a little warning in amongst all of the tips. The next tip is about voxel libraries. So this is ODY's voxel library. It has all sorts of different shapes and voxel creations that you can copy and take across to your own creations. And if you wanted to get one, all you would have to do is go to them and get one of the blueprints there for free. They give out their voxel library. They do cost a bit in terms of material to create, but it is well worth doing so. So let's show you how you can find them. What I would do is come to the surrogate network and travel to where they are. So we have this one here, the block warehouse, BSC block warehouse. So all you would have to do is connect. This is BSC block warehouse, and they give away blueprints for this thing here, the voxel library that Varzik gave me. Yep, static core, medium voxel kit. Oh yeah. So they also sell you the materials that you need to build the creation. But they also have something. So a player called StarZ contacted me saying that he had built the first one of these and has asked me to shout it out. So I will go and show that in this video in a moment. But this is something called a voxel library here. So if you want to see what different voxels look like, all you have to do is come up to something and press H, and you'll get a live demonstration of what the honeycomb looks like that you've built. So, sorry, this is called a honeycomb library, and so this is what gold looks like, and this is what cobalt looks like. You can come have a look. So let's go see what StarZ's honeycomb library looks like. StarZ's honeycomb library is called Meg's All 1064 honeycomb library. Let's connect to it. And here is StarZ's honeycomb library. Now this is my first time here, and I am already incredibly impressed. Holy wow. Work in progress. I can't wait to see the finished product. So there's different levels, and we are in a library. So yeah, here we go. It's the same setup. Everything is laid out nice and neatly. Let's, ooh, glossy. Let's go up a level. So everything is nicely organized into levels. Very cool. And here we are at the top. Ooh, getting fear of heights there. And sure, here it is. The StarZ Meg's honeycomb library. Let's go for a jump. Ooh, this is nice flooring here. This is fluorine, yes. So this is what a honeycomb library looks like. I'm definitely going back there during a stream. That was a very impressive structure. So in case you're wondering how I've been going around to those different places, I use this thing here, Surrogate VR Station. They are incredibly cheap, 7,500 quanta. You buy one, plunk one down, and you can connect to the network. Now, when you're there in Surrogate, all you would have to do is press M, go to your location, copy your coordinates, and then you can then travel there in-game in person if you want to pick up a blueprint for a voxel library. For the last tip, we need to go to a market. So let's get into our Black Pyramid of Market, the market pyramid, and go buy some things. So the last tip is about things like this, player-made markets here. So what players can do is deploy a dynamic construct here on a market landing pad and put their own shops here that you can select and interact with. I've had people coming into my chat talking about getting scammed. So when you start out this game, you get given some money from the game, and they were scammed by some of these market things. I'm not saying these ones in particular were the ones scamming, but whenever you interact with anything that is player made here at the market, you're dealing with another player, and scamming and taking your money, etc., unfairly is all fair game. So my final tip is, if you're a new player especially, only buy things from the official market itself. First of all, you can hope to discourage players from spamming markets and putting unnecessary things for players to load when they're coming in and out of markets, putting extra strain on computers that might not be able to deal with that strain. And also support the health of the game's actual market by selling and buying things to other players who are using it. There's always going to be some lag at markets because ships take resources to load and people come to market in their haulers and so on. But I'm hoping with the introduction of player-made markets and so on, things like this will go from market pads, and let markets be markets. So I also have a channel announcement to make. I'm going to be wrapping up my celebration of hitting 1,000 subscribers on YouTube on this Thursday, the 26th of November. So during our live stream there, I'm going to be giving away our final Tri-Scanner ship and also our 3 months of game time for Dual Universe giveaway. Do come along to that if you want to be in with a chance of winning. And thank you all so much who have been subscribing. I appreciate each and every one of you. If you've enjoyed this video and want to see more like it, do please consider subscribing. Thank you for watching. Until the next time, bye for now.